Begin this program with the wake-up call. South Florida faced this week swamped at a standstill and in a flood of trouble.
And Miami Beach fared among the worst places despite a multi-million-dollar pumping system, raised streets, and a new stormwater drain system. On submerged streets, cars stalled out, water cascaded into buildings and businesses, and the pumps the city installed to prevent flooding stopped working. No power, no pumps, and no backup generators. Why not? Miami Beach Mayor Philip Levine has made resiliency his signature issue, and he faced questions this week about what went wrong.
Rising waters are Broward's issues too. Dr. Samantha Danchik is the county's Assistant Director of the Environmental Planning and Community Resistance there. And we are so happy to have you both with us this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Great to have you here. All right, that is the question, Mr. Mayor. What happened on Tuesday? You spent $500,000 to prevent this kind of a catastrophic afternoon. What went wrong?
Well, Michael, let me tell you. First of all, it's funny when people say you spent $500 million, and I'll say, well, we have not spent $500 million. We've actually only spent $80 million. We've only been able to do 15% of our entire city. But it's a good question. Former Vice President Al Gore was here, and he calls it a rain bomb. And that's what actually happened on Tuesday. So the National Weather Service came to us, and they said, obviously with their advisory, 2 to 3 inches of rain. Our pumps in those areas are able to handle 3 inches per hour. What did we get? We got 9 inches. These catastrophic, unusual events are becoming usual. Now,
right. But why weren't there backup generators for those pumps?
Let me tell you specifically. What we have been using is portable generators in certain areas as needed. They didn't have the portable generators out because they were expecting 2 inches. We didn't expect 9 inches. That was our mistake. We know now that we have to expect the unexpected. We plan to put in permanent generators. In February, our commission said, let's do it. Our city went through a procurement process. They want to save money for the residents, and it's taken a long time to put them in. I'm the mayor that's very impatient, very frustrated. I'm always like, it's an emergency, let's get it done. Yeah. So unfortunately, they needed to go through that process. Now we've declared it an emergency. We're putting in permanent generators where need be. But the other thing to understand is that a generator is not so small. A generator is massive. It can be the size of 2 or 3 cars outside the road.
Mayor, before we bring Samantha Danchik in and Broward into this mix, just one more thing about the generators. This week, we heard Eric Carpenter, who is the assistant city manager in charge of that whole project.
Public Works, yes.
Why wasn't electricity, in this case, also last fall, the pumps, somebody forgot to turn the pumps on, and last fall there was an event very similar. Why wouldn't electricity and generators be an essential component from the get-go in this project?
So what we chose to do, Glenna, is we chose to use portable generators. We only have so much funds available. And once again, just to kind of go back to what we're designed for, our pumping system is designed for sea level rise. It's designed for normal rains. But when we have a catastrophic, severe situation like that, then the power goes out. We now know that's going to happen more.
Excuse me, I thought it was designed for king tides.
For king tides, sea level rise, exactly. And we're able to handle that. But with a severe, unexpected, massive flood like that, and this is the interesting thing, if we have hurricane level rains, there's no pumping system that's going to be able to dry your streets instantly. Now, the good news is that even though we had 45 minutes of power outage, those streets became dry where we had the pumps very quickly thereafter. 2 years ago, they'd still be wet today, and they're not. Yeah. We have a long way to go. There is no textbook written on this. We're learning as we go, and we're going to get better as we go.
Samantha, you are one of the authors of the textbook that Broward County is using, are you not? Talk about this week in Broward. Yeah.
So Broward has had similar flooding. Recently, a couple weeks back, we actually had a similar incident out at Sawgrass Mills where they needed to make sure that there was capacity within the stormwater system to handle that level of flooding. I think it's really important to listen to what the mayor said as far as these storms are going to become more intense. The systems that we have are designed for a certain capacity, and so expecting them to do more than what they're designed for is, as an engineer, doesn't make sense. And I think the public needs to have an appreciation for the fact that flooding will still happen. We cannot make all these systems 100% perfect, and we need that water to come and hit the ground as well.
What you're doing is adding resiliency projects like the pumping system to an infrastructure that in some cases in the counties are older than we are, 50, 60 years old. How do you then put this newfangled engineering on and expect old infrastructure to be compatible?
So Broward has started to look at groundwater rise that's expected as a result of the sea level rise, and we found that some of the coastal areas, for every foot of sea level rise, you're going to get a foot of groundwater rise. And as you move further west, it's not as strong of a response, but that completely changes the way that we design our drainage systems. And so we've tried to put that information out as a tool so the engineers, so that everything that is getting developed today and that will be built in place today will be built based on those future conditions. And so I think as you use redevelopment as a tool in order to integrate these smarter investments, that's how we're going to be able to increase our capacity over time and update the systems.
Mayor Levine, in May of last year, a former engineer named Dwight Kroll, who was appointed to a city commission to look into flooding and mitigation, he wrote to the city commission and you saying, quote, "It's inevitable that sooner or later there will be a major power outage during a time of heavy rain and high tides. Without backup generators, there will be catastrophic flooding." It was a red flag that was
Absolutely.
raised. Was it ignored?
Absolutely not. In February of this year, our commission said we want permanent generators. We approved it to move it forward. The unfortunate thing sometimes,
But the city
Michael,
manager, didn't the city manager, Jimmy Morales, say they are large, they are noisy, maybe we want temporary generators?
well, we've
to
been
put
using
in?
temporary generators all along, but the city commission approved in February we want permanent generators. So that is moving forward. The fact of the matter is, unfortunately, different than the private sector, the government moves a little slower with their procurement. If it was up to me, we would have bought them in February right then and there, and I would have bought them. But we have procurement procedures, and now we're going around them because this is an emergency. So we listened. We're doing it. But the fact is, it hadn't happened as fast as we would like it to have happened. And this unexpected severe weather storm, it's going to happen more and more. But I think the good news is we're learning, we're listening, we're going to continue to improve. But the one thing I want to always make sure people understand is that Miami Beach is a good-sized city. We've only worked on 15%. There's a larger city out there we haven't begun, and we need federal help, and we need the state of Florida to help us fund this.
And what you can't talk about, obviously, is the city of Miami had its own issues. In
Absolutely.
Brickell and in Flagler, the drainage project on Flagler didn't work on Tuesday. Broward County, you work countywide, but in Broward, there are 29, 30, 31 cities, independent governments?
31, yep.
31 now. How does the county and the city work together, and how do the two municipalities get along? I mean, have you found that there are fights about funding, about neighborhoods, about, as the mayor talked about, people who are in residential areas that don't want big things in their neighborhoods?
Sure. So through the Southeast Regional Climate Compact, we have been working at the 4-county level, but then also with the cities individually, and we often try and highlight an individual city's issues and work through them to try and develop what the resiliency project should be. And so we've done that, for example, for focusing on Dania Beach and Hollywood and Hallandale Beach as well this year. So that's the way we kind of bring our regional resources to their assistance. In addition, we're trying to provide that kind of background and baseline modeling and technical information that may be too expensive for each individually to undertake, and so we're providing it at the regional level. And as I said, so we're a resource for the city as they're kind of working through these different issues. You know, we're trying to think bigger picture of how we can provide.
Dr. Danchuk, let me ask you about an incident a couple of years ago when Superstorm Sandy came through. We only got the wave action, we didn't get the storm, but it wiped out a good portion of A1A on Fort Lauderdale
It
Beach.
did.
Now, explain to us when that was rebuilt. It was rebuilt in a way to mitigate future flooding?
And we highlight that project frequently because, you know, in addition to the intense erosion that occurred along that section of beach, it broke apart the roadway and then dumped a bunch of sand on top of that A1A stretch, which was an evacuation route for the people that live on the barrier island. So total shutdown of access to that area. So what we realized is we needed to prevent sand from be able to overtop the road. So they put in like a short knee wall in order to block some of the sand. They drove sheet piles about 42 feet into the beach berm so that it won't get undermined again, so the road won't break apart. And then the last piece is that they angled the road so that actually it provides even a couple more inches of surge protection by having the road angled up towards. So those are the types of really innovative ways that you know, the state and local municipalities were able to integrate new resiliency features into the design, and maybe even go around what typically was expected by the state, because typically we're not supposed to put structures on the beach because you're concerned that that might exacerbate erosion. In this case, it was found that it will actually prevent damage to the infrastructure.
Yeah, good news. All right, so before we run out of time, Mr. Mayor, when will these generators be purchased? When will they be in place?
We are working on it this week, I can promise you. But the portable generators are being actually mobilized and available all over the city, like we did last year. But just to your point, Doctor, for example, Indian Creek Drive, as you know, Michael, that's an area that was overrun by water continuously, and it's also an evacuation point.
Right.
We've went up to Tallahassee, we got the state involved, we're putting money in, we're raising that road, our seawall's being rebuilt, and we're doing the same thing. And what I want to tell people is this: nothing is 100% effective, but doing nothing is 100% ineffective. And we will not do nothing.
To your point, we were talking before the program about how people have to do their part, businesses have to do their
Absolutely.
part as well. A really interesting unintended consequence to the street raising that's done in the Sunset Harbor of Miami Beach is one of the businesses there has found that now that the street has been raised, they are at below street level, and FEMA, who, when he put in an insurance claim for a flood last fall, decided that they're now at basement level, unintended consequence, and that claim is not going to be paid. What should people know as this mitigation and resiliency is taking place over the long term about flood insurance and issues that are going to cost them a lot of money?
Well, these commercial structures, Glenn, it's a very good question. We're working with FEMA to make sure that somehow that they exclude that. But I think the issue is this. In Miami Beach, we're dealing with a couple of things. We have historic buildings that are very low that we'd like to protect. And that is a very, very challenging issue for us to deal with. But we know we want to protect them, but we also know that we got to raise our streets and make them dry, because if their streets aren't passable, you can't even get to these buildings.
Mayor Philip Levine, great to have you come in. Dr. Samantha Danchuk, great
Thank
to
you
have
very
you.
much.
Keep up the good work in Broward.